Is Sheldon Cooper really autistic? It is one of the biggest questions people ask after watching The Big Bang Theory or Young Sheldon, and it is easy to see why. Sheldon struggles with social cues, takes language extremely literally, hates certain textures and sounds, depends on routines, and becomes completely obsessed with specific interests. But the strange thing is, the show never officially says Sheldon is autistic. The Big Bang Theory turns that into a joke with the famous line, "I had him tested." But Young Sheldon makes the question more complicated, because instead of only using Sheldon's behavior for comedy, it shows us what those traits looked like when he was a child. So the real question is not just, is Sheldon autistic? The better question is, why do so many people see him that way? And why does the show refuse to say it? From the beginning of Young Sheldon, Sheldon is not just presented as smart. His entire way of processing the world is different. He is uncomfortable with germs, overwhelmed by social situations, strict about rules, and confused when people act emotionally instead of logically. That is why so many viewers connect him to autism. Many of his traits overlap with common autistic traits. Difficulty reading social signals, sensory sensitivity, rigid routines, literal thinking, and intense focus on specific subjects. But what Young Sheldon does better than The Big Bang Theory is make those traits feel human. In The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon's behavior is usually the joke. He knocks 3 times, he has a spot, he makes contracts, he misses sarcasm. The comedy comes from how impossible he is to deal with. But in Young Sheldon, those same traits often feel less like random quirks and more like genuine anxiety or confusion. When Sheldon is scared of germs, it is not just funny. It shows how unsafe the world can feel to him. When he cannot connect with kids his age, it is not just because he thinks he is better than them. It is because he genuinely does not know how to belong. And when he says something rude, he often is not trying to be cruel. He is trying to be accurate. That does not mean Sheldon is always innocent. Sometimes he is selfish, sometimes he is arrogant, sometimes he hides behind intelligence to avoid understanding other people. Young Sheldon does not completely excuse him, but it does show that a lot of his behavior comes from misunderstanding, not malice. This is especially clear through his family. Mary protects him because she knows the world is not built for a kid like Sheldon. George gets frustrated because he loves his son, but does not always know how to reach him. Georgie mostly sees him as the weird genius who gets all the attention. And Missy understands people better than Sheldon ever could, but is often overlooked because Sheldon's needs are louder. That is one of the most realistic parts of the show. Sheldon's differences affect the whole family. Mary worries about him. George struggles with him, Missy resents the attention he gets, and the house often bends around him without anyone fully admitting it. Young Sheldon also shows the downside of being gifted. Sheldon can understand physics better than adults, but he cannot always understand when he has hurt someone's feelings. He is intellectually advanced, but emotionally still a child. That contrast is the core of his character. His brain is powerful, but uneven. He can solve complicated equations, yet struggle with ordinary human interactions. And that is a major reason viewers read him as autistic. Autism is not about being emotionless or unintelligent. Someone can be brilliant and still struggle socially. Someone can care deeply and still have trouble showing it in a way others understand. And Sheldon does care. He loves his family, he feels fear, jealousy, embarrassment, pride, and loneliness. He just does not always express those emotions normally. So why does the show never say he is autistic? Part of it is probably because Sheldon was created before TV handled neurodivergent representation as carefully as it does now. The writers likely wanted him to be eccentric without having to responsibly portray a specific diagnosis. Another reason is comedy. If the show officially labeled him, then a lot of the jokes about his behavior would be judged differently. It is easier for a sitcom to joke about a difficult genius than to joke about a diagnosed autistic character. But maybe the biggest reason is that Sheldon does not need a label for people to recognize themselves in him. A lot of viewers relate to feeling socially confused, overwhelmed, too literal, too intense, or out of place. They see parts of themselves in Sheldon, even if the show never confirms anything. So, is Sheldon Cooper really autistic? Officially, no. The show never says he is. But as a character analysis, it makes complete sense why people read him that way. Young Sheldon gives him many traits commonly associated with autism, especially routines, sensory discomfort, literal thinking, social difficulty, and intense interests. The best answer is probably this. Sheldon is not canonically autistic, but he is written in a way that strongly overlaps with autistic experiences. And whether that was intentional or not, young Sheldon makes him feel more human. Behind the rules, corrections, arrogance, and awkwardness, Sheldon is still a kid trying to understand a world that does not always make sense to him. That is why the character works. He is not just funny because he is different. He is compelling because underneath all the genius and weirdness, Sheldon Cooper is deeply human.